Imagine coming home after a long day. You don't walk through a front door, you climb. And you're not climbing a flight of stairs. You're climbing a wooden ladder, slick with rain, reaching up to 150 feet into the sky. Somewhere deep in the jungle of Papua, there are people living right now, tonight, in houses like this. Welcome to the world of the Korowai, the only people on earth who decided that the forest floor was too crowded, too dangerous, and frankly, too boring. They are the tree people, and in today's video, we will be exploring their world, how they build these insane houses, why they live so high, and the ancient mysteries they're still keeping from the rest of the world. Let's start at the beginning. Who are these people, and where do they live? The Korowai tribe, often called the people of the treehouse, or just tree people, are an indigenous group tucked away in the dense emerald forest of southeastern Papua. Specifically, they're in the Indonesian provinces of South Papua and Highland Papua. Their territory spreads across the Bowen Digol, Mapi, and Asmat regencies, about 150 kilometers away from the Arafura Sea. And look, when I say remote, I really mean it. This is one of the most secluded and biodiverse spots on the entire planet. To give you an idea of the environment, the annual rainfall here hits about 200 inches. That's 5 meters of rain every single year, sometimes even more. It's officially one of the wettest places on Earth. Right now, their population is estimated to be somewhere between 3,000 and 4,400 people. They aren't all in one place though. They're spread out over this massive territory in small family clans. They have no traditional writing system. Everything is oral. All of their knowledge is carried in the memory and voice of each generation. In terms of daily life, the Korowai are both hunter-gatherers and gardeners. They manage small garden plots where they grow staples like sago palms, bananas, and taro. When they go out to hunt, they're looking for wild boar, deer, or birds like the cassowary. They even fish using handcrafted bows and arrows. But they also gather whatever the forest offers, including sago groups, the larvae of red palm weevil. These are a massive source of fat and protein and are considered a genuine delicacy. In fact, when a hunter gets hungry in the middle of the jungle, he'll literally peel a palm tree and eat the heart of it like it's a quick snack. Now, you might be wondering, what does the name Korowai actually mean? This is one of the coolest parts about this tribe. The Korowai call themselves Kolufoyanop or Klufo Fiumanop. The word Kolufo simply means people. Fiumanop literally means walking on leg bone. They chose this name to set themselves apart from neighboring tribes who mostly travel by canoe. The Korowai, they walk. That is who they are, the people who walk. But the jungles of Papua are far too dangerous to simply wander at ground level. To understand how these people have survived in such a brutal wilderness for millennia, we have to talk about, the tree houses. This is the thing that makes the Korowai famous across the world. The Korowai build these homes using absolutely nothing but natural forest materials. We're talking wood, bamboo, sago palm leaves, and rattan rope. No metal, no nails, and definitely no measuring tape. The floors are woven branches, the walls are sago bark, and the roofs are forest leaves. Everything is lashed together with rattan. And those sky-high houses, reaching up to 150 feet that you see on the screen? Well, unfortunately, those aren't exactly their everyday shelters. Most family homes are built between 3 and 10 meters off the ground. But those jaw-dropping ones, the ones you see in documentaries, can reach 35 or even 40 meters. That's taller than a 10-story building. Interestingly, these extreme houses are usually built by young men as a way to show off their skill and prestige. The house is barely used because it's just too impractical for daily life. Now, the obvious question, why? Why do this at all? The answer is practical, spiritual, and cultural, all at once. Since the Korowai live literally in the heart of the jungle, it's nothing like living in a city. The ground is dangerous in ways that are hard to describe. Swamps can flood in a heartbeat. You've got venomous snakes, wild boars, and malaria-carrying mosquitoes, which luckily don't fly very high. Plus, there's the threat of rival clans. By building high, you stay away from all the mess down below. But there's a spiritual side too. The Korowai believe malevolent spirits called laleo, or ghost demons, roam the forest floor at night. By living high above the ground, they're literally out of reach of those dark forces. This wild way of life is actually disappearing. Most Korowai today have traded their jungle shelters for government-built houses in local villages. Let's be honest, it's just easier to live civilized than to survive the jungle every single day. Only a few families are still holding on to the old ways, deep in the forest, and we might actually be the last generation to see these tree houses standing. This shift makes you wonder, how did we even find out about the Korowai in the first place? When do you think the outside world first made contact with the Korowai? Take a guess. Was it during ancient history, the colonial era, the early 1900s? Nope, it was 1974. That's when the first documented peaceful contact happened, led by a small team. They met about 30 Korowai men on the south bank of the upper Ailiden River. They wrote down a basic list of words, and that was it. For the first time, the modern world finally had proof that the tree people were not just a myth. The Korowai universe is filled with variety of spirits, some more personal of character than others. Once in a lifetime, a clan will organize a huge Seigo group festival to bring prosperity and fertility to the group. And when times get really tough, they'll sacrifice domesticated pigs to the spirits of their ancestors to ask for help. When it comes to death, they believe in a type of reincarnation. They think those who die can be sent back to the land of the living at any time by their kinsmen, in the land of the dead, usually being reborn as a new infant within their own clan. But as fascinating as their religion is, there is a side to the Korowai culture that has sparked a lot of controversy and fear in the Western world. It's time to address the elephant in the room, or the legend in the jungle. You might have heard some things about this Papua tribe and their, let's say, strange practices. Now, we need to talk about this carefully. The internet loves to turn this into a horror story. In the Korowai belief system, people don't just die of natural causes like illness or old age. When someone dies, they ask, who did this? Their answer is often a khakhua. A khakhua is a witch man, a person possessed secretly by a demon. On the outside, they look like anyone else, a neighbor or a relative, but on the inside, they are supposedly consuming the victim's soul. When a person dies, the community holds a trial, often led by a shaman, to find the khakhua. If someone is found guilty, the sentence is death, and historically, after the execution, the body was eaten by the clan members. By consuming the body, they believed they were destroying the demon inside and neutralizing the threat to the tribe. So, is this still happening? That's a tough one to answer. Back in the 60s and 70s, this was a real part of their justice system. But today, things have changed. Most experts believe these practices have stopped as the tribe connects with the modern world. It's a dark chapter of their history that has likely stayed right there, in the past. At the end of the day, the Korowai are a living bridge between the world as it was and the world as it is now. Whether that's navigating the busy streets of Jayapura or building a spiritual fortress 100 feet above the jungle floor, they're proving that survival is not about technology. It's about adaptation. If you like this video, hit subscribe and drop a like. What surprised you the most about the Korowai? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for sticking around until the end, and see you in the next one.